Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Melissa, and on Monday they held the Met Gala for the first time in I think like 2 years. So it was kind of a fun fashion day. So that inspired me to do like a glam video today. Like, I haven't put on this much makeup. What I have laid out in front of me, I have not put on this much makeup in a long time. But I thought it would be fun to do that and also look at some of the fashion while I'm getting ready and just kind of give my take on some of the things. So I don't know if you watched any of that or if you looked at any of the pictures online. I have some pretty strong feelings on a couple of outfits in particular. So let's get started. Oh, before I sat down, I went in and like zhuzhed my hair because, that's what we do. And I used this Tresemme texture, dry texture finishing spray. I actually like to like flip my head over and just load it up. And I really feel like it gives it a lot of volume. I love the smell of this stuff. Like, I usually don't like a lot of fragrance in my products, whether it be like skincare or hair care, anything like that. But this, love it. If you're looking to zhuzh up your hair for a special occasion or even just every day, I like this, and it looks like they sell it at Ulta and Target, CVS, all those places near you. So I'm going to start by prepping my skin, and I'm going to use this Glow Recipe Avocado Ceramide Recovery Serum that was in that little Michaela kit. I really like this, and I've been trying to use a little bit of a serum under my foundation because I think it just glows it up a little bit. So, and this is supposed to help with some redness, and yes, I do have redness. I'm also going to use the Tula 24/7 Power Swipe Hydrating Day and Night Treatment Eye Balm, and it definitely looks like a lip balm. I talked about this in my Sephora haul, and I have been using it. It does say to like hold it against the skin to soften it a little bit, and that does work, but it's not ever going to be as soft as, say, like an eye cream. But that's a good thing because I feel like it like stays in place longer. I've been enjoying this. I haven't worn it with a lot of makeup over it, so let's see how it plays with some of my makeup that I'm going to be using today. So let's just go ahead and get that tapped in. So while that's drying down, let's get started with the Met Gala stuff. So the first place I went to look is at the Vogue website, where they had some of the best dressed stars of the Met Gala of 2022. So every year the Met Gala has a theme, and this is how people are supposed to dress. So the theme for this year is called Gilded Glamour, and I think the intention was to be reminiscent of the end of the 19th century, so like the late 1800s. When you look at the pictures, there's definitely a couple different interpretations. People were doing, gilded and a lot of gold, and then others really understood what the nuances were. So others were a little bit more literal and went for, those very fitted, corseted looks that were typical of that time. So the host and the co-hosts were Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Her gown had a transformation. So this gal here, Quanah Chasing Horse, but she obviously is Native American, and I love what she did for her look because she really incorporated some Native American glam in it by putting a little bit of a headdress on there and wearing some jewelry that's very typical of that. So I thought that was really very unique and different. Not terribly on theme, but I think it would have been hard for her to do that on theme. Here we have Amber Valletta, and she's definitely doing the gilded gold look. But oh my god, her face is so shiny. She does not look glowy, she looks oily. I wish they had powdered her down. Plus she has a lot of reflection from this dress, which I'm sure didn't help. Oh, here's Kate Moss. I don't have much to say about this, except for I think this is frumpy on her. She is certainly a beautiful woman and could have worn something a little bit more stylish. I think she did this to kind of like show off let her daughter be the star, but I'm not about that life. I'm going to move on, and I'm going to apply some foundation. I have picked out this, is it Isla or Ilia? I don't know. So I think it's Ilia, and I've been saying it wrong. But this is a serum foundation, and it does have an SPF of 40 in it. And as I recall, I really liked this because it does still let my skin shine through. It comes with like a little stopper, which I'm not in love with that, but here we are. I'm going to just put some on the back of my hand because it's very liquidy. I'm going to just tap it around, and then I'm going to go in and blend it. So my goal here is not to like do full coverage because I don't think that's very flattering on me right now. And just kind of even out the skin tone. And yes, that's as pretty as I remember it. I think I'm going to work on some eyes. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of primer on. This is just what I have handy. It's the NYX High Definition Primer. I don't really have a primer that I love, an eye primer that I love right now. If you have an eye primer you love, please share it below. There's nothing wrong with this one. So I'm going to work on my eyes while I'm letting my foundation kind of settle a little bit. And what I'm going to use is a palette that I got. It is by Temptalia. She did a collaboration with Sydney Grace, and she's a huge fan of their formula and often would like post these great combinations on her website, like making her own palettes. I was not surprised in the least when this was announced that she was going to do a collaboration. So she had 4 palettes, and I chose Quintessence. Let me show you what it looks like, and then I'll tell you what my plan is. Here is what it looks like. The reason why I chose this palette is because it had a good solid like neutral base, you know, like along here and here with little pops of color. This is kind of like my jam. This is like my comfort zone. So I'm definitely going to be using these two to define my eyes. I'm just trying to make sure I'm pointing the right to. And then I'm going to use this for some definition, and I think this one for like a little pop of glitter, if you will. I'm going to just pause for a minute and do all of the Kardashians because all the women were there, and they are totally a mixed bag. So let's see. So let's start with Kim. In case you didn't hear, she actually wore the happy birthday dress that Marilyn Monroe wore when she sang to President Kennedy. I'm surprised they let her do it. I know there were a lot of restrictions. She couldn't wear like her usual body makeup. She, you know, unless she was on the red carpet, she had to wear gloves while handling it. It's very fragile. And I think she only wore it for the red carpet, and then she changed into a replica for the rest of the night because they couldn't risk her getting anything like food or anything else on it. And she had to lose like 16 or 18 pounds to fit in this dress. And one of the things I read was she said, I always thought that Marilyn was very curvy. I think that is a misconception. And she did it. She got into it. And I think she looks fantastic. However, I don't like her hair and makeup at all. If it were me, I would not have gone blonde because I felt like that just was kind of predictable. If I were Kim, I would have kept my hair my natural color, but I took that shot and a picture of her and put red lips on her and like shorter hair. I think this look would have been super stunning. I just think the hair pulled back is so severe. Her signature nude lip, yeah, I get it, but I think she should have maybe done that red lip. I would have loved to have seen that on her. The other one I really loved was Kris Jenner. I thought she looked fantastic. And this is very much a nod to a dress that Jackie O wore. And you can see the influence. It looks like she's wearing a hairpiece. And so they styled her that way. I think she looks freaking adorable. She should grow her hair out. I love her pixie, but that looks super cute and kind of a little youthful. She's a beautiful woman, and I just think this is fantastic. Let's move back to doing some eyes. I'm going to go ahead and apply this shade here, which is kind of like a little bit of a nudie shade, like a taupey nudie shade, and I'm going to go ahead and just swipe that into my crease a little bit, just to lay down a little bit of color, but not too much color. This is such a great transition shade for me. I know when Tim Talia did this, she was like, I'm going to assume you have your own transition and highlight, and this could be a great like one shadow look. I'm curious, did any of you pick this palette up when it came out? Then I'm going to go in with a smaller fluffy brush into this next darker shade and like define my crease a little bit. Just tapping in the color in the crease and then blending. Oh, I don't really like this brush that much. That brush was a little stiff for what I wanted to do. Yeah, that just like left a funny mark on this lid. Let's see if I can blend this out a little bit. All right, I need a little bit of something under my brow bone. I'm going to be using this shimmer brick from Bobbi Brown on my cheeks, but I think I'm going to go in to this lightest shade. Just putting a little bit of that under my brow. Then I'm going to take a little flat brush and apply some of this darker color. I think I'm going to go into the shimmery color here first and lay that kind of here on my lid. And maybe I'll go all the way across. And then I'm going to go back into this dark shade here and add a little depth in the outer corner and maybe a little bit up into my crease. I'm just going to have to kind of play it by ear and see. I don't want to totally block out that transition color, but I want to add a little depth. I like to have like a little bit of that like deeper crease color just kind of peeking up a little bit over onto my hooded area. So I get a hint of that color, and I also think it kind of gives the eye an extra lift. I want to talk a little bit more about the Kardashians. Okay, so here are the rest of the girls, and this was Khloe's first time at the Met, if you even care. And so I have some strong feelings about some of these outfits. First of all, I thought Kourtney, like, what the hell is she wearing? It looks like an ace bandage around her midriff. It's super unflattering and so weird. Just like so weird. Not a fan. Khloe is fine, very conservative. Kendall is beautiful, but I kind of really, it doesn't really fit on theme. It's not, I don't know. It's just a nice black dress. And Kylie is wearing this wedding dress. One of the things I thought was so striking about this, not so much the dress part, it's fine, is what she wore on her head as a headpiece. She wore a backwards, like, ball cap that was decorated with a veil. And I thought, this is super, like, trendy and kind of interesting. Now, would I want my daughter wearing that at her wedding? Probably not. But you know, it makes a statement, and I kind of liked that. Back to my eyes. I'm going to go ahead and use this Almay Brow Styler because my eyebrows are, like, disappearing. I need to dye them, and I didn't think to do it before this video. So I'm just going to go ahead and comb a little color in there. What a difference that makes. So much better. So this group here definitely took a nod to the theme with a lot of a corseted look, including Lenny Kravitz at the end. Billie Eilish, I thought, did a great job. Emma Stone and Hailey Bieber, who helped advise them, they're wearing feathers. That has nothing to do with anything. And again, here's all these sheer black dresses, which, let's find something new. I want to talk about Brooklyn Beckham and his brand new wife, Nicola Peltz. And here they are. And she's obviously a beautiful young woman. She's got a great figure. He looks fine. I know his shirt was kind of sheer. Okay, that's fine. I hate her dress with a passion. Like, I think this looks ridiculous. This deep U, there are other pictures of her from different angles. It's like, what are you even wearing? I think she could have gotten the same effect with a dress that had like a sweetheart neckline. So I just did my very poor job of photoshopping. It's not even Photoshop, it's some other silly program. And I filled that in a little bit and gave her a little bit of a sweetheart neckline. I think that's classically beautiful, and it still gives her that little drapey effect. That's how I would have changed that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little concealer and powder on. This is the Glossier concealer in a little pot. I remember when I got this, I was like, I really don't like pot concealers, but I actually kind of like this concealer quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that on. I like to do that after I do most of my eye makeup because I think it helps brighten it up. Alright, just a little concealer. Less is more for this, in my opinion, on my face. And then I'm going to powder with a powder foundation to give me a little extra coverage and then lightly powder my face. So I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin, and this is in Y225, like that. And I'm going to use a brush because I want kind of a lighter coverage. This little thing will give me much heavier coverage than I want. And I'm going to go into my trouble areas, right around my nose. And then I'm going to go in with a bigger, fluffier brush. What is this? I don't know. I think this is a Wayne Goss brush that I got when I ordered a Lucky Bag. The one time I ordered a Lucky Bag. I'm just going over very lightly. I might try and like plump that up a little bit by going in with like a creamy eye cream. This is from Kiehl's, the creamy eye treatment with avocado. And sometimes I do this if I feel like I look a little too crepey under my eyes because I want to look a little, less crepey. And I know it does lift some of the makeup and concealer, but it's a trade-off. I think that looks a little bit better. And I'm just going to take this, which probably has a little tiny bit of powder on it, and just... Oh, I'm going to do a little blush. I'm going to use this Bobbi Brown. What is this? This is the Shimmer Brick in the color Rose. I've had this 100 years. I'm still using it, and I think that's okay. That's a personal choice. If I threw out everything when it was quote-unquote expired, I would be broke, because who can afford to do that? So I'm going to go in with these two right here, just to kind of give me a little bit of definition, almost like a bronzer. This is a little sparkly. I don't want to have a ton of color on my cheeks because I'm wearing kind of a bold eye. And then I'm going to go into the lower part and just bring a little bit of here. This has some glow built in. I think I want a little bit more glow. I'm okay with the color. I want a little bit of a highlighter. I'm going to reach for this Milani Afterglow. I'm going to use a little fan brush. This, if I recall, is very glowy. So I want a super light hand. I'm going to finish up with my little Met Gala thing here, and then I'm going to finish my face. The last one I really want to talk about is Sarah Jessica Parker, because I think she absolutely nailed it. She looks gorgeous. Everyone always calls her like the queen of the Met Gala, because she, as they say, she understood the assignment. She's corseted, she's got a nice headdress, a little bit of a train, but she still looks kind of current. She looks fantastic. So what do we have left? We have lips, and I'm going to finish up my eyes with a little mascara. One of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to try these Ardell Magnetic Naked Liner and Lash. Okay, I just cannot do lashes. But I bought these because I've been wanting to try these magnetic ones because I think they might be easier. Are they easier? Who only knows? They are like, they're nice. They're not like super gigantic. Because, again, you reach a certain age, can you really pull that off? Apply 2 coats of magnetic liquid liner along the upper lash line. All right, I have to bring the big boy in for that. Okay. These are not working. So, I need to save this look. Clearly those need a lot more practice. Let me go ahead and fix up everything that went wrong, and I'll be back. That was awful. When they were on briefly, they looked great. So now I'm just going to quickly do my lips because I've used up almost all my battery. I'm going to use a little bit of this lip liner, and I wanted to have like somewhat of a muted pink lip. This is Lust for Blush, kind of like a nudie pink. Okay, I'm calling it a day. I might have to revisit those lashes, try them again, but I feel like I'm covered in eyeliner. I've got a hot mess eyeliner going on up on my upper lids. I had to like refill in the eyeshadow. Oh my god, it was awful. So, I think it's a pretty look. Not where I intended to go. To be continued on the false eyelash train, because there are times that I think I would like to wear it, but I just can't. There's got to be a trick that I just don't know. So, anyway, those were too long for my eye, and I felt like they were tickling my inner lids, but I was afraid if I trimmed them, then I would have been trimming a magnet off, and then where would I have been? Absolutely nowhere. A little more research is needed. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed playing around with some makeup, looking at some stuff from the Met Gala. I'll include a complete product list below in case you are interested in looking at any of that stuff. So, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I'll see you real soon. Thanks. Bye. Mwah.